I don't know about you, but I'm living on top of the world. Hi everyone, this is Donna Means and I'm back with my review on Greenleaf Season 1, Episode 3. We shall see him as he is. This was an interesting episode. This was. Because it shows how crafty Grace can be. So it starts off with her using the church resources to obtain an email for Danielle Turner. She sends her an email. But then she finds herself invited to a date with Noah and his fiancée, Isabel. Now, I know I didn't address it in my first couple of episodes, but I'm going to go back for a moment. Now, when Grace meets Noah at the gate, there's definitely chemistry because back in the day, before she left Memphis, they used to date. And, you know, every time they've interacted since then, you can tell that chemistry is still flying. The flames, they're flying high. They're flying high. But he's engaged to Isabel, a teacher at Excellence Academy. So she works under Carissa. But Isabel's been insecure since episode 1. Okay? She is, when Noah comes back from greeting her at the gate and they show the scene where he's talking to Isabel, well, how does she look? And he's like, well, she looks the same, she's just older. And then she's looking like really concerned. He has to console her by saying, oh, she has nothing on you, darling. But, you know, hot mess. And the only reason why Isabel has to be that doggone insecure is because he must have ranted and raved about how much he loved her and how Grace broke his heart or whatever. And, you know, now she is like seriously tripping because at first Grace was only supposed to be here for a couple of days. So why would you be that concerned about his ex? And that was 20 years ago, baby. Why are you that insecure? I didn't get that. But okay, nevertheless, I don't want to dwell on that too much. But just to bring you current up to date, he's now inviting Grace to dinner with Isabel. And he says it was Isabel's idea. That's because she's trying to check out the competition. But they go on this weird dinner date. And I had to say, Grace is good under fire because, you know, half the time, some of the stuff that she said out her mouth, you know, somebody else that it wasn't so godly might have slapped her in the mouth. But anyway, I mean, Isabel shows Grace shade, and it's funny because Grace acts like whatever. There's a time while they're having dinner that they basically have finished eating, and Isabel excuses herself from the table to get some like containers to put whatever they didn't eat in the containers. So Noah is, you know, telling her, hey, you know, thanks for doing this. Was this okay? And Grace like, sure, it was fine. She's sweet, da. And he's like, you know, I was a jerk so many years ago when you left because I didn't understand things. I just thought it was strange the way you were breaking up with me and all this. And, you know, I just wanted to apologize because that's been on my mind since you came back. It's been on your mind because you were angry. Okay, you're apologizing not to her because that was 20 years ago. You're apologizing so you can let it go and move on, but you are still feeling some type of way. Noah, don't even trip. Anyhow, And in case y'all recognize Noah, if anyone watched Noah's Ark on Logo, his name is Benjamin Patterson, and he played on Noah's Ark. Anyhow, she's like, it's okay, you don't have to do all that. And he says, no, seriously, it's good to know that I've already met the person that I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. And she's like, okay. So when Isabel comes back, she's like, what did I miss? And she's like, oh, I'm just singing your praises. And then her phone goes off. So Grace picks up her phone, and it's Danielle Turner. So Danielle is like, okay, she schedules a meet with Danielle. She leaves Noah and Isabel. She goes meets Danielle at a pizzeria. So Danielle comes in, and she sits down, they're talking, and basically Grace is like, look, you can trust me. I really just want to know what happened. Tell me what happened, because I know that when you recanted the story, something else was behind that, but this really happened. And this, because it happened to my sister, she did the same thing you did, and I just need to know the details. Danielle's holding true to the recant of her story. She's like, look, I'm sorry, I lied, I just wanted attention. But she's shaky about everything she's saying. You can tell she's almost about to bust out in tears. But someone's either brainwashed her or threatened her or whatever. But the bottom line is that Grace wasn't able to get any information out of Danielle, and Danielle basically said, look, I lied, I wanted attention, it was my fault. It just looks like the same thing that happened with your sister. I'm sorry that happened to your sister, but this didn't happen to me. Please leave my family alone. And with that, she was out, and she exits the pizzeria. The following day, Grace does follow up with Noah and requests to speak to him in private. And she sits down, she explains to him what happened 20 years ago. So she tells him the whole, story about, we actually don't know what she said, but I'm making an assumption. She told him about the accusations Faith made and how that impacted the family and where she was when all that happened and the reason why she needed to leave, and that she didn't want to break up with him, but she knew that it was going to be best thing because the family was paying for his education. She didn't want to compromise stuff and, that type of thing. So, does anyone remember in the last episode when Lady May stopped Noah in the hallway and asked him about the nuptials and everything? He's like, oh, we're still in the playing stage. We haven't found a venue. She's like, I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. Let me take care of everything. You can even have the wedding at the mansion. And then Lady May, classic Lady May, draws closer to him like this. And she says, I always thought we shared a bond, because of our shared affection for Gigi. You will tell me if she's having a problem getting acclimated, won't you? So that she was using all that as a bribe to get him to be like spying on Grace and reporting back to her. So now that Grace has told her side of the story, do you think he's going to be Team Gigi or Team Lady May? All right, Carissa is, Carissa's more of a manager than she is a wife, because she unscheduled a double dinner date with Fred and Misty Williams, and Fred and Misty Williams are on the deacon board. And so she's trying to solidify the ties between Jacob and the deacon board. So, because, they don't respect him. And they don't respect him because he don't respect himself. I mean, to be honest, but whatever. So, during this time, Fred and Misty become like the perfect couple in her eyes. the perfect example of Christian marriage and, having this love. And she realizes how messed up her marriage is with Jacob. How she lacks that joy and that loving feeling and that closeness that they have. And knowing that you're with the right person. She doesn't have any of that with Jacob at this point. And she is just brokenhearted right now. Just looking at them all in love. And they're, getting up there in age. I mean, I won't say they're actually elderly, but they're kind of senior citizens. And it's like she wants that. And so the next day she approaches Jacob and says, hey, can we go see marriage counseling? He's like, I don't want to do that. And she is brokenhearted, honey. Yes. This had to be the best. No. Maybe the second best. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out in my head what it is. But let me tell you. Alright, so Kevin and Adrian still having their little flirtation going on. Later that night, Kevin goes out with Charity. And they go out for drinks and karaoke. And Charity's getting lit up like a Christmas tree, honey. Kevin's on stage. And he's doing his rendition of My Sharia Moore. Horribly, I might add. He can't sing worth like he really can't. And so once he finishes, he rejoins his wife at the table. Well, while he was performing, you see this gay couple enjoying his performance as well. So when he gets back to the table, the barmaid brings over some drinks. And he looks at Charity, did you order these? And she said no. And the barmaid said, no, the couple over there ordered them. And they see it's a gay couple. And Charity busts out laughing because she saw everything's funny to her right now. And she said, well, that's your fault for singing so doggone well. And I'm like, really, Charity? You know that you know she in love because, oh, that was brutal, honey. Anyhow, so, I mean, she doesn't think anything of it that this gay couple, that was kind of shady of the gay couple. I'm going to say that. I am going to say that because you like exposing, you didn't know who the woman was. And you either exposing some stuff or it was just shady. I just thought it was. If you disagree with me, fine. But that's how I see it. That's how I'm calling it. It was shady. So they get home. Charity's drunk. She can barely walk, honey. And she's talking about, let's take a pregnancy test. Okay. I mean, it was just the first episode that they talked about let's start in a family. The second episode, he talked about, well, wait a minute, maybe we're not going to be good at this. And the third episode, they already talking about taking a pregnancy test. You've been drinking all night long. You are lit up as a Christmas tree now. If you trying to get pregnant, what are you doing drinking like that? This is how backward this family is. They don't think worth a darn. So anyhow, she's so drunk, she can't even do the pregnancy test by herself. He's going to have to help her. And he's trying to convince her, let's do this tomorrow. You my wife and everything. And I'm supportive of you and stuff, but can't we just do this tomorrow? And she's like, well, I have to go to the bathroom anyway. And so, they're in the bathroom, and he's trying to study her on the toilet and told the test. And so, when they come back to them, she's knocked out asleep. And, I'm sorry. He's got his hand on his head and he's looking at the pregnancy test like it's positive, but he's looking at it like he's willing it to be negative. Oh my God, she's sleeping peacefully like nothing happened, and he is up here like, oh God. So the next day when he sees Adrian, he said, oh, we found out good news last night. Charity's pregnant. Oh my God. Did everybody see how Adrian's face broke when he broke that news? His face, he went from being all smiley to, oh, yeah, that's good news. Trying to play it off. Oh, I thought that was funny because I'm saying, you guys haven't even talked, like really broached the subject. You had the flirtation going on, but it wasn't like you did anything. Y'all didn't kiss and nothing. I mean, it was a flirtation, yes. But how you going to break? And I have to, the guy that's playing Adrian Miller, his name is Gary Weeks. And I'm telling you, that right there was hilarious. Gary played that role right there because he made his face just break all up when he heard that Charity was pregnant. I was tickled. I don't know about you, but to me, that was like the funniest thing. To me, that was when his face broke up like that, honey. Ooh. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Last week, we were wondering, how was Robert going to handle things? Because Janice had called him, told him about Grace's visitation. And this week, we got the answer. He comes into Mavis's bar, his sister's bar. And apparently there is, there's no love lost between them. They may be blood, but when Mavis saw him, before he could really even say anything, she was like, get out. Okay, so we know that the tensions between them are high, honey. OMG. I enjoyed that scene. And Creepy McCready, who's played by, his name is Robert McCready in the story, but I call him Creepy McCready because, but he's played by Greg Allen Williams, and he played this part right here. So he goes in there trying to strong arm Mavis into stopping Grace from investigating him. And they have this exchange of words. And I didn't do their whole dialogue, but to me they had some of the best lines in the dialogue, and I just wanted to point them out. So I'm going to read them to you. Robert says, you want to keep your club? You want to keep strutting up and down Bill Street like some kind of Jesus to these $3 ticket scratchers? Tell Gigi to leave it alone. And then Mavis, she goes into her dialogue, but the best line out of it was, now, it is one thing to be sick, but it's another thing to be walking around peacocking about it. From what I remember in my Bible, that kind of prancing is reserved for Satan. You ain't going to win this time. This time, brother, you going down. So, honey, and he leaves, and he has this real evil laugh. I was like, oh, that creeped me out. That's why I call him Creepy McCready. He gives me the creeps. So, this was a hot mess. Zora and Sophia go to church, lock in, and get locked out. Yeah, you heard me. They went to a church lock in and got locked out. They went into the church lock in. They were eating pizzas, looking at the movie, and Zora goes out the room for a moment, comes back, said, hey, Sophie, you want to get high? You at the church lock in, and you make a plan to get high. Oh my God. I'm not even going to deal with that right now. They go out, they find an exit, they go out. And there were some other teens. And I don't know what they're smoking or anything like that, but they're getting high. They finish, and whatever they're using to smoke with or whatever, they get to Sophia to throw in the trash receptacle. Then they try to go back in the door they came out of, and they're locked out. So now they gotta find an entrance. So they go running around the building. Meanwhile, they done started this small fire in the trash receptacle. It wasn't nothing major, but still, whatever. They find an entrance and they get stopped by a security guard. Now, all of them are wasted, and no one can hold a straight face except for Zora. This heifer is too good at hiding stuff. She can straighten it up. She was, coherent, and, she was talking. It wasn't like anybody would have suspected she was high. And she's engaging the security guard, and she ends it with, God is good. And he says, all the time. And then, because the whole time that she's engaging the security guard, the kids are cracking up. You know how people get high. Don't act like you haven't done anything wrong. You get a good laugh and you can't stop laughing. The more you try to stop laughing, the worse it gets. That's how these kids were. They were trying their hardest, and then they were trying to hide their faces because they couldn't stop laughing. And you got that they were high. And she was explaining what happened. Oh, we just went out for some fresh air, and the door we went out of, we locked us out, and we've been trying to get back into the building. We're just trying to rejoin the church lock in. And so he says, okay, you can go ahead. And they run off. But I thought, oh my goodness, that Zora, please, Lord Saints, please pray for Zora. And Sophia, because she just keeps following Zora around. I mean, it's ridiculous. The bishop was trying to go see Senator Banks because, he's been stonewalling his request. So he's like, okay, let me give him some respect. Let me see what I can do to ease the tensions. And his private jet sprung a fuel leak, so he couldn't go. And the person that was advising him of this said, well, you can always fly commercial. And Lady Mavis was like, oh, nope. Oh, God, you would have said, I don't know. She's just not going to fly commercial. I can't imagine having that much money, but okay. So he doesn't make his trip to the senator. And that pretty much was it. But tell me what you think about this episode. Do you think that Noah is Team Gigi or Team Lady May? In other words, is he going back and telling Lady May everything, or do you think his passions for Gigi is going to cause him to be everly devoted to her, especially now that she's told him what actually went down 20 years ago? I'm afraid for Zoa and Sophia. Is something tragic, or one of them going to OD or something? What do you think is going to happen? What will it take for them to realize that Zora really has a drug problem? And is Sophia going to follow her to the point that she winds up ODing, or is Daniel Turner going to? I mean, where does the investigation go now? Is Daniel Turner going to actually at one point come back to Grace and say, okay, I'm willing to talk? Or what does Grace do? How does she move forward in her investigation now? I mean, she has a police report, but if she can't get the girl to talk to her so she can learn more information or, be willing to testify or something, what is she going to do? These things puzzle me, church. We need to pray for the Greenleafs. I know they say we shouldn't be talking about them. You're supposed to keep them up in prayer, but they're doing shady stuff. And we need to keep them in prayer, church. My song was featured in this episode. Dottie's Peoples, get your house in order. Yes, do it right now. And we see love triangles. Love the triangles. Grace, Noah, and Isabel. Charity, Kevin, and Adrian. Do you think that when he told Adrian about Charity being pregnant, he was trying to end their flirtation, or thinking that might keep Adrian at bay from him? What do you think? Tell me. Please engage me. Give me a thumbs up if you like, thumbs down if you don't. My information is below. Reach out to me. I will get back to you. But please share your thoughts, your theories. Tell me. Let me know. Team Gigi or Team Lady May? Which will Noah decide? Alright, until my next video. Bye.